Hey everybody, welcome back. This here is an Emerson Windjammer ceiling fan, and I got this one from my favorite salvage store a few days ago. Actually, it was I think Friday. Yeah, Friday. It was when I went. So I got it on Friday, but it had been there for quite some time, I think a few months. Um, yeah, this is a fairly obscure model of Emerson ceiling fan. Probably not sure if you guys have seen this one before. I know I hadn't, but yeah, this came out in the early 2000s. I'm not exactly sure when. It's not dated or anything. I'm sure some Emerson experts can probably tell me when it exactly was from like catalogs and everything. But yeah, it's model CF960. Uh, it actually says it on the tag there on the side of the motor housing that you can see, um, which is kind of like a Casablanca. Uh, they're kind of following in Casablanca's footsteps with that. I mean, they kind of did that with their traditional ceiling fans, putting the Emerson tag on the side of the nose. But yeah, I just think this is. I'm not really a huge fan of these like contemporary styled fans. But this one is actually really cool. I actually really like this one's the design and everything and how it looks. It's kind of like an industrial modern look, um, and yeah, it's really cool. Um, and it's definitely ahead of its time for early 2000s, with that sort of cage type light kit there with the spotlight. Um, Now it measures the model number is CF960 as I mentioned. On the tag it says CF960 BS. That's probably for brushed steel, which is I think what this finish is. I thought it was brushed nickel, but that makes more sense. Um, the blade span measures around 57 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and say this is probably a 56-inch fan, which makes sense because like Fasco had the Great Room, which was model 960 also, coincidentally, and they were also 56-inch, so I don't know. But it is a larger fan. It's larger than 52-inch. Um, I know a few videos of these online have these labeled as 52-inch, so I don't know if they also had a 52-inch model or if they just offered these in 56-inch or whatever size this would be. Like I said, probably 56-inch. Um, yeah, this is I think my first six-bladed fan too, which is pretty neat. I don't think I have any other six-bladers. Um, yeah, I don't think I do. I don't think I ever have. Um, but yeah. Um, so yeah, these are fairly uncommon. Uh, I don't really know too much about these that much, but this one does have a cast vented Alaska type motor, or like I think that actually is made by Sheng Yuan still, but like the same kind that they used in the later Alaskas, not the ones like the earlier Huggers and the AC 4152 with that weird stamped motor. It's like the one with the vent holes in it. Really cool. I did not know that these used those motors. Or I mean, I figured I think I knew that Emerson used them in some models, but I didn't really know much about this model anyways, to be exact. Uh, yeah, it came with everything except the mounting bracket, which isn't a huge deal. I have plenty of those types of mounting brackets. I just used the one. I think I just used the one that was from the Fanimation that was already up there, so I didn't have to take it down. And that fit it perfectly fine. The Fanimation Louvre that I tested last. Um, yeah, I've got I think it's a 60 watt incandescent reflector bulb in there. Uh, yeah, works well with that light kit. I just got some LED, I think par 16 lamps, but I use those in light fixtures upstairs, and I took this bulb out of that one fixture because that was the only one that still worked. I had like a 40 watt appliance bulb in the other one for some reason. But yeah, I like how uh, the effect of the light kit, that industrial cage almost in the shape of a globe. It's a very neat design. Like I said, ahead of its time for early 2000s style. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn the light kit off. Now, the blades are a little bit scratched up in some spots on the side. Like this one's got some scuffs on the side there. There's another one that has scuffs on the side, that same side, and then there's like another one that has like something on the other side. But they're not in too bad of shape. They are reversible from this. I'm not sure what finish that is. And then there's like a lighter bleached oak finish on the other side. That might be walnut, I'm not sure. And then I also had to do some work with bending and unbending the blade arms back into position. It still could use some work. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for a test. Yeah. So, guess now we'll go ahead and start the fan up on high. Also kind of shocked it doesn't have like a remote built in or anything. This seems like the perfect candidate for like a remote receiver up in that giant, I'm not sure if you would call that the motor housing or the upper or lower canopy, but I don't know, maybe they did offer models with remote receivers built in, who knows. It's an obscure model, like I said. There's a slight bit of wobble, but I mean the blades were pretty badly, or the blade arms actually themselves were pretty badly bent. Still need to do some work, as you can see. But it's not too bad, not as bad as it was before when I started out. And of course you got pretty high RPM with that cast Alaska motor in there, cast Sheng Yuan motor. Flings those 6 blades around like nothing. Of course it helps, the blades are kind of thin, they're on the thin side. I thought that would kind of put a damper on the airflow a bit, but it still moves the air fairly well. I mean, I'd expect a lot of airflow from a 60 or 56-inch fan. This is pretty good. I mean, probably about as much as like a Casablanca. I also think my electrical box up there isn't helping with the wobble. Alright. Whoa, medium. Let's not kick the blades. I finally cleaned up the shop from all the PA meat stuff, and then I proceeded to fill it up again with stuff from Ohio and other things. It's a never-ending cycle. So medium. Still feeling a good breeze. It's quiet, very quiet. Just a little bit of wobble. I'm going to move the step stool out of the way so I don't keep running into that. And turn it down to low speed. And not have the pull chain whacking on the side of the light kit. And they did offer an option to install it without a light kit as well. I've seen models, videos of other ones that didn't have light kits. It was just like that, the plate there, but it was just blank. It didn't have the cage or that can for the light fixture. Although I haven't seen any videos or pictures of these brushed steel ones with no light kit installed. So low speed, I'd say that's almost restaurant low. It's a little fast, but you can always put it on a stick control. Slow it down. This would be a good candidate for like a nice slow restaurant. Really slow low with all the 6 blades. Honestly, this could be a good candidate for 4-speed conversion too. Alright. Spin down. Keep doing that. Okay, not a bad spin down. Feel like I could run it a little bit, break in those bearings a bit more, but I'll flip it to reverse and start it on low in reverse. I have not tested it in reverse yet, so this will be a first time on camera. Medium. I'm not seeing as much wobble. There's like 1 or 2 blade arms that are still pretty badly bent. I'm not sure if they're like bent upward, downward, or if they're just pitched a little differently or something. They're probably pitched, bent that way. Alright, high in reverse. Oh yeah, there's like no wobble. Interesting. Runs smooth, I tell you that. Oops. I don't know if I just turned it off or turned it on the low. Okay, it's off. Alright. Give you guys up close view of the fan. Oh yeah, I can tell this blade is pitched a little bit steeper than that one. I still got to work on that, like I said. But yeah, so there's this really cool light kit. Show you it on. That's what it looks like from down below. And then these blades, like I said, not sure the finish, but there's scuff that I was talking about, and that one also has it. The little one right there. That one has it on that side a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but blades aren't in the best of shape, at least on the sides, side edges there. The like, surfaces themselves are okay. And then on the other side, you've got, ow, you've got your bleached oak or whatever that finishes. Pull chains and the reverse switch right there. These blade arms kind of look like popsicles. Interesting. And then, of course, on this, which, like I said, not sure if you'd consider this the lower canopy or the motor housing, because it does house the motor, but it's also like the lower canopy. This label, or this tag, Emerson ceiling fans, model CF960, got the Emerson logo, and it still has the protective plastic on here, which I will not be removing. I'm going to leave that on there. I know it probably would look better if I remove it, but I want to keep it on there just to keep it protected. You know, I've decided to not remove any of the Casablanca ones that I find anymore that are also still on there. Just want to keep them in mint condition. But here's the top of the motor housing slash lower canopy. Well, I guess this would be the motor housing because this is the lower canopy. So, yeah, the traditional ball socket canopy. And like I said, this mounting bracket is from the Fanimation Louvre, and so are those nuts. The top of the motor housing has these banana vents, radial vents, like a banana fan. And it's got the informations tag, and there's the model number, the full model number, CF960BS for brushed steel. Emerson, St. Louis, Missouri. Electric number, not sure what that is, but like I said, there's no date code or anything. There's not even a date code on the UL portion of the sticker. But then warning, caution, and then there's a patent number at the bottom there, which you probably would be able to see if my phone would focus. Okay, well, it's there. Yeah. Oh, and then of course, in there you can see the cast Alaska Sheng Yuan motor and the vents on said motor, which is really, really cool because, you know, Emerson used those motors, which shows quality. But, yeah. I don't think I left anything else out about this one. So that is the Emerson Windjammer ceiling fan, model CF960, or CF960BS. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.